Hey, hey, hey! What's going on with y'all on this hot and sweaty day? Well, not me though. My room was cooler than the ocean, so. Sports. A form of entertainment that both the players and also viewers love to see. Sports has been here for thousands, if not possibly millions of years. It's just one of the second human nature instincts that we always are gonna have, whether we want to admit it or not. And, not gonna lie, it does look cool as shit actually seeing people do stuff that seems impossible from the naked eye. This argument can also be applied to people playing video games as well. Video games has become a staple not just for the fun aspect of it, but also in the sports, thanks to esports. But that's not what the video is here for today. I know what you're probably thinking in your head.
Well, what was the video even about then?
What are you, slow? We're talking about sports games. Hello and welcome to a long and probably out of order series called Sports Madness. This video series is where I will be talking about sports games throughout history in no particular order at all, of course. So don't expect me to actually talk about every sports game in chronological order. That's your job to do it, not mine. So anyways, to kick off the series, we're going to be talking about two of my favorite water racing games to ever come out. And if you haven't played these games, then you're just missing out, point blank period at this point. Without further ado, let's dive into the first game of this video. The first video game we're going to be talking about holds near and dear to my heart, despite Midway being there again. Give it up for arguably the most insane water racing game ever,
Hydro Thunder!
Just one racing game, it has to be Hydro Thunder.
To start this off, we're going to have to be talking about where it was debuted first. Hydro Thunder debuted at the Amusement Trades Expedition International, or the ATEI, and the Earl's Court Expedition Center in London, England on January 26, 1999. I want you to understand, you have no idea how hard it was to pronounce and articulate that sentence the whole time practicing before I recorded this video. Now let's continue though, shall we? Released to the arcade on February 1st, 1999, which was then released to the Dreamcast of September 9th of the same year, and then later released to the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 on March 6, 2000, and finally releasing to the PC or Windows on April 6, 2001. Hydro Thunder is a multiplayer racing game where you compete to be the best speedboat racer in the world, while also eliminating the competition. Developed by Eurocom and Midway. Each track you go through is as treacherous as the last, ranging from a post-apocalyptic New York City to racing through the Nile River. You can actually race to the Nile River, which is actually kind of hilarious to think about. Each track in the game has a blue and red boost icon scattered across the map. When touched, these icons allow the players to have some extra boost for the race. The blue boost icons are scattered more than the red boost icons, and the only answer for that is simply because red icons give more boost than the blue icons. Once you fill your boost meter up, not only you can go faster, obviously, but you can also do what I like to call, in my opinion, the magnum opus of this game: knocking other speedboats out of the race. I mean, hey, it's technically murder, but look, you gotta win this race one way or another. Another aspect of boosting in this game is that sometimes you'll encounter what I like to call a hydro jump. A hydro jump is performed when you are using the brake button and using the boost button at the same time, into timing it perfectly to make yourself go higher than other speedboaters. Now, in order to do this, you only make sure that you have enough boost in your meter to actually use it. Now that you have the basic understanding of what the game is and how the boost is, let's show you the magic of this bulky beast, the boats.
You've never felt anything like this. For 2 players, or 1, Hydro Thunder, rated E for everyone, from Midway.
God, look how beautiful they are. Yeah. We were supposed to talk about the boats. The boats in Hydro Thunder are divided into 4 different categories: easy, medium, hard, and bonus. There are 3 boats for the easy, medium, and hard categories, but there are 4 boats that are in the bonus section, meaning that you can go up to at least 13 boats in total. You already know how this is gonna go. Easy boats are easy to control, medium boats are in between, hard boats are hard to control, and bonus boats are a combination, so I feel like I don't need to explain too much. If you played any racing games, you've played them all, except for Midnight Club 3. That one was a bit fantastic. Development for this game is kind of scarce, as I couldn't find a lot of information about how Hydro Thunder was made until I found an article. Last year, someone managed to get an interview with Eric Browning, who was the lead artist for the game. In this article, Eric explains the person interviewing him how the game started, what inspired the game, and also what the game was going to be called before being settled with Hydro Thunder, which is probably the better option. I mean, come on, could you imagine being called Speedboat Fury? That doesn't sound cool at all. Sounds like a low-budget David Hasselhoff movie.
You done?
Now, with everything I have said, is the gameplay great? Well, you bet your sweet motor, that gameplay is a banger. Right off the bat, this game does not hold any punches with how you play it. Every map gets more and more difficult and the longer as you try to get your way to win and place your name tag on top of leaderboards. The response for the controls feels great and quick as you're trying to get out of tight turns and bumps into the race. I feel like I was on an intercom just screaming at my racer for even making the tiniest of mistakes costing me the race. The game is intense, but it's also pretty fun to play whenever I want some old-fashioned racing. And it's really fun knocking some of the speedboats out of the race with that boost. I'm going to give this game a 11 out of 10 speedboats, and I highly recommend playing this game on the Dreamcast since it's the closest for you playing on the arcade. Now, if you want to get the arcade version, though...
Chris!
Anyway, on to the other water racing game, but before I do, I had to make a quick announcement first real quick. So, my TV yesterday, as of this writing, decided to just give up and die. So, for now, I decided to pull up a plan B. A smaller TV. Okay, now we can actually go on to the next games. Next up on this roster is the one and only Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. Released on August 4th, 2003 to the PlayStation 2 and then later on released to Java? Who the f was playing this on their BlackBerry? Splashdown Rides Gone Wild is another racing game where instead of speedboats, you race on jet skis. It looks cooler than it sounds, okay? Just hear me out. Developed by Rainbow Studios, this game is a sequel to the original Splashdown game. But unlike the original Splashdown game, this one just has more color. That technically is the only difference, to be honest. Just like Hydro Thunder, there is no plot or storyline for Rides Gone Wild other than racing on jet skis and doing tricks in the air while also simultaneously time traveling to a graveyard of old boats and planes. That's one of the first maps you can race in. Rides Gone Wild is quite literally a wild game to play, with you racing up against 15 different tracks having their own themes, qualities, and creativity throughout. At first glance, this game is just like a huge amusement park with different roller coasters that you can look around and have fun. Well, the opening for this game does actually imply that this is like a roller coaster, so take that with a grain of salt, I guess. There's not a lot of behind information that I could find about this game as well, which is kind of sad though. Maybe THQ didn't want people to know about it until E3, so hey, I don't know, to be honest. I'm just throwing out theories.
Splashdown Rides Gone Wild, coming August 2003. This product is not yet rated.
Look how big this trick list is. Jesus. The gameplay for Rise Gone Wild is insanely fun and kind of creative as well. The reviewers did not lie about saying that this game is just like a roller coaster, with each track becoming more and more chaotic. The controls are smooth, and sometimes it gets frustrating if you're trying to position your character when you're trying to land, so that way you won't get knocked out or go out of bounds. One of the features that I'm going to be calling out pre-monetization from this point forward is that you can collect points and use them to unlock secret maps and characters, as well as other wetsuits. But if I'm going to be honest here, the best thing about this game is not just the maps or the characters, it's the tricks that you can do. One of the biggest differences between Hydro Thunder and Rise Gone Wild is how you get a boost. In Rise Gone Wild, you can get boosts by just doing some tricks in the air. Throughout the race, you will see these ramps spread around the map. You can use these ramps to do some insane tricks in the air. In this game, there are a total of 75 different tricks that you can do. And if you want to do some extra boosting, you have to hold the L2 button and press any directional arrow shown on the screen, and then while still holding on that last directional button to finish one spin, you can combo some of the tricks for it. Rainbow Studio was trying to make us get calluses and cramps to our hands. Every time you manage to land a stunt, you can actually fill up the meter on the bottom right corner next to your speedometer, and in turn, you drive faster. One of my favorite characters that I actually play in this game is Zug Zug. He's just a caveman with a watercraft made out of dead animals that he probably hunted, but I love his grunts and yells. After replaying both of these games, these two are some of the most creative and gorgeous looking games that I've ever gazed upon. The gameplay for both of them have some of the most thrill-seeking, heart-throbbing, edge-of-your-seat experiences that you can play over and over again and not get bored of it. The graphics for this game are pretty solid to look at too for the time period as well, and the controls are very fast and responsive. Even at times when I can't see what I'm going through, I still had a great time with it. But that's all I got for you for today. I hope you actually managed to make it to the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is going to be part of a series that I will be bringing back every now and then across my videos. Don't forget to leave a comment down below on what other retro video games that you want me to play, and also like and subscribe and share this video around to your friends and strangers. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace!
You must bounce on it. Crazy style.